What's up, people? In this video we are going to take a look at none other than the legendary Siimland. I don't know, I don't remember how to say it. Oh my god, I'm actually subscribed to this guy? Wow, I had no idea. Yeah, I kind of want to unsubscribe. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I actually know who this guy is because when I was making like snake diet videos back in the day, you know, the fasting community, I guess, on YouTube is not so big. So there's kind of only a couple people who make popular videos that have a lot of views and a lot of subscribers, and this guy was one of them. Although back then, 6 months ago, I think he had like 20,000 subscribers. The channel's growing very fast. And I think the reason for that is because he makes these like, I don't know how he does it, but he makes like very educational videos where like, I don't know, I always just kind of pictured him like going on Wikipedia and like typing in like effects of sleep deprivation like on Wikipedia, and then like writing the script for his video based on that, and then adding in a bunch of like movie clips and stuff. So the guy, like, you know, and occasionally he'll like add in like his own experience with that. But it's a very effective video format for making videos and like making it on YouTube. For me, it's a little too organized for me, kind of boring if I were to do that. So I'm not going to do it, but it's definitely working for him. Like, the guy's definitely on his way. Let's see, OMAD tips, what I ate for today. Kind of want to do that one. Keto, he does keto, huh? Autophagy, this guy loves autophagy. What do we got here? Anti-aging. Autophagy. Mark Bell on losing 100 pounds with keto and lifting weights. An hour? No way. Wonder if he mentions his like trend cycle. Things you need to know before starting keto. These are also, I mean, I don't want to say they're boring, but like, it's like me reviewing like a Wikipedia article. It's like, all right, I don't know, whatever. Let's, I guess we'll do this one. You guys are all food obsessed, so I might as well do this one. You know, I'll preface this by saying, okay, first of all, at least he does OMAD, and he says it's a ketogenic meal, which doesn't necessarily mean that he only does keto all the time. So yeah, I'm not a fan of doing keto all the time, and the dude looks good for sure. He's very lean and seems very fit, also seems natural. So, you know, again, this is one of those things like, I wouldn't do it like long-term keto. I wouldn't recommend that other people do it, but you can try it. If it works for you, go for it. Like, what do I know, you know? Okay, without further ado, here we go. If you guys have any other recommendations for videos or YouTubers that you want me to do, leave me a comment.
So hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Siim, and in this video I'm gonna show you one of my staple OMAD dinners. Madness. It's been about 20 hours fasted for me for today, and I'm about to break my fast. I'm not trying to gain muscle at the moment, I'm not trying to lose weight either, I'm just maintaining and kinda stabilizing myself in this pretty maintenance mode. Before I show you the actual meal, I'll maybe go through some of the principles that I try to follow, or the kind of rationale behind it. So I do enjoy intermittent fasting, and I think that eating one meal a day is quite sustainable for maintenance mode. And the total amount of calories I eat for today, maybe I'm gonna aim for about 1800 calories or something. I did some calisthenics, easier calisthenics, to stimulate the muscles, but I didn't have like a heavier workout. So therefore my total demand for calories will also be somewhat lower, so I'm not going to be trying to eat at a surplus if my body hasn't, you know, it doesn't need to gain those calories, and I would much rather prefer to stay around maintenance. But I'm not restrictive about the macronutrient ratios either, because like I don't have epilepsy or I don't have diabetes, and I'm already lean, so I don't really have to worry about staying in ketosis. And I think that when you are doing intermittent fasting or eating one meal a day, then the macronutrient ratios themselves are, you know, really, they become less relevant in the sense that you can get away with more, and you don't have to worry about maintaining a certain range of macronutrient ratios as long as you get adequate protein, as long as you get your other essential nutrients.
Okay, so like a few things. He looks good. This is like this is what a natural person looks like on OMAD, right? Who eats one meal a day. Okay, so like he looks good. I'm not picking on him or anything, but you get this kind of like really like lean physique. I don't know what kind of workouts he does. I saw the rings in his room and that like weird like I don't know band bar or something. I've never seen that before. I have no idea what that is. But like decent physique. But the thing with OMAD is that like it'll keep you very lean, but you'll still have like a tiny little bit of fat. Like you notice what he said. He's like, yeah, I'm not trying to cut. I'm not trying to bulk. I'm just kind of doing maintenance right now. So like as a natural person, as a natural person doing one meal a day, or I guess as a natural, like I can only speak from like a young man's perspective, or is 35 young? I don't really know. I feel young. As like a healthy, not old man, effect from doing OMAD and eating what I'm going to assume here is a lot of meat. I don't know, but I feel like that's where this is going. This is kind of like what you can expect your body to look like. Now, like he looks very good, definitely looks better than like most normal people. The challenge with doing OMAD and with doing like staying natural is achieving that like kind of like exaggerated bodybuilder roided out look, but just smaller, right? It is possible to achieve that. I don't know if it's possible to keep it like permanently. I've never really done like extended fasting for a prolonged period of time. Like for example, eating every other day. There's a protocol, it's called 4-3, right? Where you eat one day, you fast, you eat, you fast, you eat, you fast. I don't know, there's something in there, you eat 2 days in a row, whatever. Anyway, basically you're eating every other day. That will keep you very lean. It's possible that like with that, you'll actually be able to maintain that like super shredded look, and be able to like kind of just have like a smaller version of like the roided out bodybuilder look, which is really kind of, I don't want to say that's your maximum potential, but in my opinion, I don't want to say that's the easiest look to achieve and maintain. Just in my opinion, it's easier than putting all of the work into like doing all these like bro split bodybuilder routines and like bulking and cutting and counting calories and all that shit. Like why do I always say eat one meal a day, eat meat, and fucking go to the gym? Because it's easy and you get a very good result for the amount of thought that you have to put into it. Obviously there is some nuance there and there are things that you can add in to get an even better result. But for most like normal people, like that in and of itself, like start with that, do that for a while. And then once you've mastered that, you can move on to the other shit. So like, again, I'm not like criticizing him or anything, but like this is like typical result of what you can expect if you're doing like resistance training. I think he's got pretty big shoulders, pretty big arms. So I think these are from the rings. I think he does a lot of ring dips in his room, which is amazing for like strength and building your physique. Also, what else did he say in here? What is this? Yeah, I've never seen this before. I don't know. This is like some European thing. I've like actually never seen this before. Whatever. Anyway, these are the rings that I was talking about. Like, I don't know how he has them hanging from his ceiling, but they're awesome. Like, definitely, invest in some of these and find somewhere to hang them from because they're amazing. You can do pull-ups, you can do dips, you can do all kinds of crazy shit. If you hang them outside, probably can't do crazy shit on these, like hanging them in your room. But it's just hard to hang them from somewhere outside because you need to like adjust the straps and like go through that, hang it from some tree in the park like every time you want to fucking work out. Probably not. Also, what he said about this, about like, I noticed that he does mention how many calories he's trying to eat and like macronutrient ratio. I don't know if this is like his normal ratio. He just like always does this, or if this is like recommended from something. From what I've seen of like his other videos, I don't know how much. I'm assuming he probably tries shit on his own. Just the only reason I'm kind of thinking is because I know in his videos he talks a lot about like, this is backed by science, this is the right way to do things, in this study they said this, but I know that he does try stuff on his own because with fasting you kind of have to, because it's a fairly new field, I guess you could call it. But yeah, in terms of like counting calories, I'm not a fan of counting calories. It sounds like he has a general idea of how many calories he wants to eat. I'm not sure if he like figures out how many calories he needs and then eats that much and just happens to be full afterwards and that just like lines up like that perfectly. Or if it's the other way, if he just like eats till he's full, counts the calories afterwards, and then is like, okay, I need this many calories to be full, and then adjusts his workouts accordingly, right? Regardless, I don't like doing either of those just because I can't be bothered, which again is why I recommend those 3 steps, like eat once a day, eat mostly meat, and work out basically, which will give you, depending on your workouts, you will kind of get a body like that, right? As long as you watch what you eat and you eat what I assume to be mainly meat. We'll see.
But keto, I'm aiming for 1800 calories. My protein requirements would be somewhere around 0.8 to 1.0 grams per pound, which for me is about 140 to 170 grams of protein. With a keto diet, it's pretty damn easy to achieve this because the foods themselves are somewhat higher in protein and they're also nutrient dense. So for today, I'm going to be eating some fried eggs. Then I will eat a bit of liver to get some, a multivitamin for the day and to microdose the liver, as I like to say. So then in addition to that, I'll have some fresh salmon, wild salmon, and I don't even have to worry about adding additional fat sources as you would like on a normal keto diet, because I'm already getting quite a substantial amount of healthy fats from the eggs, from the liver, and from the fish. So I'm not going to be trying to add some MCT oil or something like that onto my food, because like I said, I'm not trying to bulk or gain calories from the meal. So keeping the protein high and the fat lower, that's just what works for me, and I find that it's much easier to maintain a lean body composition with that, as well as a general satiety in the sense. In addition to that, I will also have a bit of fermented foods in the form of sauerkraut. Then we have some our own fermented cabbage blend or some vegetable mix. So basically it's a low carb, moderate fat, higher protein type of keto meal, and it's perfect for maintaining and even losing weight with it if you just reduce the total amount of calories from it. And you can gain muscle with this as well by just increasing the total calories. So you can just play around with it based on how you feel, based on what kind of food you like to eat, and yeah, what's your general condition.
Enough talk!
So we got the...
Okay, so amazing food choices. I think these might actually be the best food choices that I've ever seen in a video, right? Not surprising that it comes from Siim. Well, okay, best food choices I've ever seen in a video, like a video review, like one of these like reaction videos that I do. I don't know about like every video I've ever seen, but like definitely recently, like this is it right here. I would add some carbs for me just because I feel like I need them. I don't know. I just feel like I need them. I don't know. I run a lot. Like I have to have carbs. You know what I mean? I don't know if he does. Maybe he does, and he just doesn't need them. I don't really know. But what I wanted to point out is that, like, you heard all the stuff that he said. He's like, okay, I eat the eggs, right? He's like, I'm going to eat these eggs. I'm going to have liver, which is like a multivitamin, which is kind of funny that he said that because liver is like the superfood of superfoods because it's super high in like all of these like vitamins and minerals and fucking all this shit. Like, look it up on your own, like the nutrient content of actual liver. Interesting that vegans never mention that in their debates, but whatever. Anyway, but again, that's one of the reasons why I say that, my way is just so easy, right? Like, eat meat, because all of the stuff they said, I eat these eggs, I eat this meat, I eat this liver, I'm eating salmon, I keep my fat low, I'm not adding oil, I'm like doing this, I'm doing that. Like, it sounds like it's a lot of decisions that are taking place, right? It's like, well, I have to get my fats, I have to get this, I have to get that. It sounds like a lot of like, and again, he's obviously knows what he's doing. I don't think he's like stressing about it and really thinking about it too much. But how much easier is it to just say eat meat and eat eggs? You know what I mean? Like, that's it. You don't need to think about these, do I have enough fats? Do I have enough protein? Like, I guess maybe eat liver and eat meat and eat eggs, right? If we want to like add a couple extra words to the fucking index card. Sauerkraut, homemade sauerkraut, amazing. Probiotics, like, great, wonderful. Like, you can't say anything bad about that, I don't think. Maybe you don't like the taste, but very good for you. Yeah, and just, I guess one more thing is that, like, when I was in Vietnam, God, when was that? Was that this year? Oh my God, that was April? Oh man, when you move around a lot, like time gets distorted. Like I honestly felt like that could have been like 3 years ago, but that was only April. It's kind of crazy. Whatever. Anyway, when I was in Vietnam, I would buy my meat from like an open air market, and I could buy liver for like, I think it was like fucking 10 cents or something for like a pound of liver, like something ridiculous, like not even $1, you know what I mean? Or it's like, what was it? It was like maybe 50 cents for a kilo. I don't know, something ridiculous. Like you'll never starve if you go to Vietnam and you eat meat, like actually. Anyway, so this was when I finally found this source of raw meat, because I'm all about the raw meat. I finally found this like extremely cheap source of raw meat. I was like, oh my God, this is like the mother lode, right? And people just like throwing it away. So basically my meals, what I would do is I was training super hard. Oh my God, I was like running for like an hour in the like hot Vietnamese sun. And then I was doing like, I don't know, an hour and a half, sometimes 2-hour workouts in the gym. I was crushing it. It was so fun to work out there. But anyway, I would go home and I would buy, it's hard to eat a lot of liver at once, but I would try to eat like as much liver as I could. I would buy like half a kilo, because like when it's like 10 cents, you don't want to be like, okay, give me like 3 cents worth of liver. Like just fucking give them 10 cents, dog, and take half a kilo. So that's what I would do, and I would eat that first, and I would try to eat as much as possible. But I think raw liver is fucking disgusting. It's just like, it's like slimy and like so gross to eat. I don't know. It's just, but I would try and eat as much of that as possible. I would like stuff myself on it almost. I was eating like, I don't know, I don't have like a scale, but I would eat like half the package. So it's half a pound. I don't know, 8 ounces of liver. I don't know, how many grams is that? How many ounces in a gram, or how many grams in an ounce? 28. So 28 times 8, 30 times 8, 200. So let's say 220 grams of liver, which is a lot. It's not microdosing. I felt great. I was very healthy. I looked pretty good. I was training pretty hard. But anyway, the point is that I thought that I wanted to, they have like OMAD, which is gallon of milk a day, and OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, right? So I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, how can I like turn this into some like YouTube like fad diet, where I'd be like, I ate liver every day for 30 days, and here's what happened, And I was thinking I would do poor lad, right? Which is kind of a play on words, because like if you're a poor lad, you're like a poor boy, right? Like a broke boy, basically. And it would be pound of raw liver, POLRL, a pound of raw liver a day, right? I didn't actually end up doing it because it's just so gross to eat a pound of raw liver a day. It was so gross. But maybe I should do it. And basically the idea of the diet was that like you can eat whatever you want as long as you eat a pound of raw liver a day first. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it at some point. Probably be like a nice little catapult to fame, nice little viral video. I don't know. I just don't want to edit fucking 30 days worth of footage into a fucking 2-hour movie. Oh my God, like my like content is already long enough. All right. Anyway,
The eggs cooking up in here, and the way I like to do them is to keep definitely the yolks runny and don't let them overcook, so you would preserve all the nutrients and you wouldn't cause like advanced glycation end products, etc. So I'm actually using cabbage leaves on the bottom of the pan as to protect the yolks from the heat. So I'm almost like steaming the eggs, but I'm still getting the fried egg effect without damaging the nutrients from the yolks. So it's like a pro tip that if you're frying your eggs, then put some of those, cabbage leaves on the bottom, and that's an amazing way to preserve the nutrients. And you can even put like, this regular seasoning on top of it, and it's basically steaming the eggs inside here. So this is the final result. We have the fermented foods, some sauerkraut, fermented vegetables, and a bit of salad, like a coleslaw salad. And here we have the eggs piled on top of each other, like a tower of some sort. So 4 eggs with the cabbage leaves over there. So this is the first part of my OMAD meal. Then I'll maybe wait like another hour, and then I'll finish off my meal with the salmon and the liver. So it's not like 1 meal a day within 1 hour, and you just have to eat all of your calories within that time frame. I much more prefer like a slower type of OMAD, where you're just eating much more slowly, and that's just generally better for like digestion, and also like better for protein synthesis in a sense.
Later.
So that's interesting about the cabbage. I didn't know that. It does seem like a pro tip. Too much work for me. I'll never do it. I would rather, like, if I'm gonna go through all of that, like put cabbage on the bottom and fucking all this shit, like I'd rather just eat it raw, right? Just have the eggs raw. Like what's the trade-off with eating raw meat versus cooked meat, or raw eggs versus cooked eggs? Is that eating it cooked can be, when you eat it cooked, you have a little bit more, you can play with the flavor a little bit more, whereas when you eat it raw, you're like, salt and sauce is basically what you're limited to. But if you cook food, eggs, meat, whatever, you can throw like garlic in there, you can fucking steam it, you can cook it slow, you can like barbecue it, whatever, you can do all this shit to it, right? But the trade-off is that when you eat it raw, you just feel better. Like, I think it's noticeable, right? Whatever. You feel better, you perform better. It's kind of like when you make the switch to raw food or raw meat. If you ever go back to cooked meat, when you go back, you feel guilty. You're like, it almost feels like it's like you're like cheating on your diet if you eat it cooked. It's kind of strange. It needs to be experienced to really understand, I think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems a little bit light on the meat for me. I know he does things like in a very measured, very calculated way, but like all the vegetables, like a giant plate of like salad and cabbage, which I'm not sure, I don't know anything, like it seems to be like to give him like a more full feeling, and to reduce the amount of meat, I guess, like eating less meat, eating more cabbage and sauerkraut and stuff. Like, not the end of the world, like good food choices, but I'm thinking of myself. This would not fill me up. This would not be like enough food for me at all. And I think we're like the same kind of we look like the same height, similar build maybe. But yeah, I don't know. This wouldn't fill me up. But whatever, works for him. I guess maybe smaller appetite or something. Yeah.
And this is the second part of my OMAD. As you can see, this is the slightly cooked salmon. It's basically steamed, and it's very, it's still very pink, and you can see it's very, somewhat intact. It's pink. And then we have the liver here as well. That's also very lightly cooked, and a little bit of some more broccoli. And yeah, that's basically the last part of my OMAD. So in the next video, maybe I'll go through an example of my either higher calorie keto meal, or a higher calorie carb cycling meal, or a low calorie keto meal, etc. So make sure you definitely subscribe and hit the bell and notification button as well. If you want to know how to...
Okay, interesting. Oh, he's got a book now, huh? I need to make a cookbook. Like, it wouldn't even be a cookbook. It would be like a cook index card, Like, eat raw meat. Step 1, go to the store. Step 2, buy the meat. Step 3, take it home. Step 4, eat it. Step 5, optional, add salt. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I wonder if he says here how tall he is and like how much he weighs, because I think like we look like kind of like they're the same size. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Okay, so like great food choices. If I'm gonna like the salmon, like, I don't want to say undercooked, because like, okay, technically you should. I guess the idea, I don't know if he cooked it to like make it a more interesting video, or if he just cooks it to like kill, because there's a whole idea of like you cook it lightly to kill like any bacteria that got on the outside, and then eat it without cooking it too much to preserve all the nutrients in the food. I think that's why he's doing it that way. But in my opinion, I would just eat it raw. I've never had raw salmon, but I mean, I have like sushi. But I've never like bought salmon at the store and just like eaten it like that. It's more cost effective for me to buy liver. Liver's so cheap. Oh my God. Like, it's kind of weird when you think about it, how the healthiest food on the planet, like liver is actually, in terms of how nutrient dense it is, in terms of like supplying your body with what it actually needs, liver is the best choice, hands down. Like, there is nothing that is healthier than liver. period. That's the number one spot. Okay. And it's also pound for pound, I don't want to say one of the cheapest foods. Like, okay, rice, fine, it's cheaper, but is it? Yeah, probably. It's so cheap. Oh my God. Anybody can afford liver, right? If you're poor, I don't care what country you live in. Like, you're poor, you can afford liver. You can feed your family on liver. You know, the problem is that most people just don't have any idea about this stuff, right? It never occurs to them that like liver is like a super nutrient dense food that's really healthy, and like if you have no money, you should base most of your diet around that. Honestly, if you have money, like it's one of the curses of having money that I fortunately am not cursed with. But you know, I imagine sometimes I'm like, okay, what if one day I really make it? You know, I'm like making fucking, I don't know, $20,000 a month, whatever. You know, I'll probably go to like super nice restaurants, I would think. I'm not gonna like, I don't know, that's the thing. It's like when you make it, when you're crushing it and you're making more money than you know what to do with, are you not gonna go to these like super expensive restaurants and get like the Kobe beef and the like, I don't even know, like all this weird shit? Like, are you not gonna get that? You're just not gonna go there. You're gonna fucking just keep your money and like eat your, I'm like, I'm like buy my raw meat, you know, I'm sitting on like a stack of cash, like eating it. That'd be like a good music video. Yeah, maybe my rap career starts. Anyway, Siim, pretty much what I expected. The guy's, it's like squeaky clean, this guy. Come on, like how can you say like anything bad about like what he does? Like, I don't know. I agree with everything pretty much. A little bit low on the meat, a little bit high on the vegetables, but like excellent food choices, all natural food. I don't know. I like carbs, but we probably have different workouts. I feel like if you do extended workouts with a lot of aerobics, you kind of need carbs. I've also never been able to do keto successfully, but like OMAD, like he hits all my points. Okay, eat once a day, eat lots of meat, and fucking work out. That's it. He's following the Yalapapi protocol without even knowing it. He probably got the idea from me. Okay, not. Yeah, okay, Siim, like, did you need me to like tell you that the guy's fucking on point? Probably not. But if you have any other recommendations for videos or YouTubers that you want me to take a look at, let me know. Leave me a comment. Peace.